Chapter 31 The Second Pet, Ye Qinghan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The group approached silently, but the void blue whale seemed oblivious, still playing in the water. Now, Ye Qianxing yelled, and Sutala quickly commanded Dabai to activate the frost mysterious land. Instantly, frost covered the lake, then vanished, hoping readers will remember our domain name, that. The lake looked normal, with no sign of ice. Sutala's eyes widened. He knew how powerful his family's ice magic was. It could freeze solid ground, so how could it not freeze this lake? There's definitely something up, Ye Qianxing muttered, narrowing his eyes. He'd been wondering why everything around here was frozen except for the lake. Something wasn't right. Looks like I'll have to do this myself. Ye Qianxing stripped off his clothes, leaving only his underwear. Whoa, brother Qianxing, flashing everyone. Xiaoyu exclaimed, making Ye Qianxing realize there was a woman present. Qianxing, I'm just saying, if you're feeling lonely, at least pick the right moment, Sutala added with a smirk, causing Ye Qianxing to grimace. Shut up. Alright, don't worry, I won't peek. Sutala's lewd grin persisted, leaving Ye Qianxing speechless. He dove into the lake, 205 jumped in after him. Even though the void blue whale wasn't much of a fighter, there could be other evil spirits lurking in the water. As Ye Qianxing and EarthInvasion got closer, the void blue whale finally noticed them. Oddly, it didn't run. It just floated there, staring at Ye Qianxing with curiosity, as if seeing a human for the first time. EarthInvasion lunged, but Ye Qianxing stopped him. He reached out to touch the void blue whale, hoping to coax it, but the instant Ye Qianxing's fingers brushed it, the void blue whale seemed startled and dove underwater. Chase it! Ye Qianxing shouted, plunging into the water after it. The void blue whale was fast underwater, and Ye Qianxing couldn't catch it even swimming his hardest. He wasn't too worried. The lake wasn't that big. As they neared the bottom, Ye Qianxing saw it was covered in blue plants, cold-repelling flowers. They block cold air and neutralize frost toxins. No wonder this lake doesn't freeze. It's because of these plants. Ye Qianxing realized. But now wasn't the time to dwell on it. He kept swimming after the void blue whale, determined not to lose it. Of course, Ye Qianxing wasn't a fish. He couldn't stay underwater forever. Just as things were at a stalemate, the void blue whale stopped, and a dog appeared in front of it. Ye Qianxing grinned. It was 205. The idiot actually knew how to flank. Surrounded, the void blue whale had nowhere to run. Ye Qianxing hauled it to shore. Xiaoyu, who had been worried when Ye Qianxing hadn't resurfaced, finally sighed in relief. Qianxing, why go to all this trouble to catch it? Sutala asked. Fish for dinner. This much meat should last us a few days. Ye Qianxing grinned wickedly. The void blue whale seemed to understand, its eyes widening with fear. Scared, huh? If you don't want to be eaten, you'll do as I say. Ye Qianxing finally revealed his plan. He wanted to know what was inside the creature's belly, so he could carry things around easily in the future. He expected the void blue whale to fight back. But after he finished speaking, it just nodded frantically, leaving Ye Qianxing speechless. What kind of spineless evil spirit was this? It should at least put up a fight. What a wimp. Ye Qianxing glanced at EarthInvasion. He hadn't realized there were species more cowardly than that mutt. Alright, let's make a deal. Ye Qianxing bit his index finger, dropping blood on the void blue whale's head. He felt his soul connect with the creature. The contract was complete. Since you're my pet now, I'll treat you right. Ye Qianxing pulled out the cosmic Rubik's Cube he'd gotten from the system's treasure box. It contained immense spatial power, perfect for the space-based void blue whale. The Rubik's Cube fused with the void blue whale, and its body began to solidify and take form. Ding! Spiritual pet created successfully. Host gains 1/10 of its power and 1 skill. Ding! Pet star level increased. Hidden bloodline activated. Spiritual pet, Ye Qinghan, Qinghan bloodline, attribute, space, rating, 5 stars, growth type, level, F9. Abilities, universe in the belly, limitless, can hold anything, space transfer, short-range teleportation, pocket dimension, can create an isolated pocket dimension, advancement requirements, evolution route. Ye Qianxing saw the void blue whale stats, no, it should be called Su Kun now, and got excited. It didn't have much attack power, but it was a great support. Space transfer would let them escape quickly, and pocket dimension was even better. It could isolate someone in another dimension, impervious to attack, but that skill had a catch. The pocket dimension had no oxygen or air, so it was dangerous to stay there too long. It was a last resort, not something to use often. Select a shared skill. The system prompted. Space transfer, then. Ye Qianxing decided, universe in the belly was tempting, but with Su Kun around, he could always enter his pocket dimension. Space transfer was different. Su Kun could help him teleport, but it was better to have it as his own skill, as two people would never be as in tune as one. Chapter 32 Encountering the Enemy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After mastering space transfer and getting a tenth of Su Kun's power, Ye Qianxing felt a serious boost. Even though Su Kun wasn't a combat powerhouse, he was still an F-level spirit pet. Absorbing a tenth of his power, Ye Qianxing figured his own combat ability was now on par with a regular F-level spirit pet, throw and shock, nether fire, and space transfer, and he was confident he could even take on any level. How's the void blue whale out of the water? And floating? Xiaoyu asked, puzzled. Su Kun was just hovering in the air, like he was still swimming. He's got space powers now, so floating's no big deal. As for why he's out of the water, it's because he's not a void blue whale anymore. He's a Kun. Xiaoyu and Sutala gasped. In old myths, before the new era, the Kun was a super powerful beast that could even evolve into a pang. They couldn't believe this ordinary-looking fish was actually a Kun. Ahem, don't judge a book by its cover, okay? He might not look like much, but he's definitely a Kun. After Ye Qianxing's explanation, the two finally bought it. Qianxing, now that you've got the Kun, and we've rested up, let's get moving, Sutala said. The assessment was only 3 days long, and a day and a half had already gone by. If he didn't find the cold-repelling flower, his Dubai was out of luck. No need to search anymore. What we're looking for is closer than we think, Ye Qianxing said with a grin. What do you mean? Sutala was lost. He means the cold-repelling flowers in the lake, dummy, Xiaoyu said, figuring it out immediately. Yep, my Xiaoyu's got it, unlike some people who need a map drawn for them. Ye Qianxing ruffled Xiaoyu's hair. Xiaoyu blushed when Ye Qianxing called her his Xiaoyu. Su Tira was embarrassed for a second, then got all excited. I'll go grab it. Nah, I'll go. The water's cold, even if it isn't frozen. You're too delicate, Ye Qianxing said, shaking his head. Hey. Delicate? You have no idea who the king of Jiangnan nightclubs is, Su Tira huffed, but still gave up on the idea of going into the water. Ye Qianxing went back down, grabbed all the cold-repelling flowers, and stuffed them into Su Kun's belly. Good stuff shouldn't go to waste. Even if they didn't need them, they could sell them. Back on shore, Ye Qianxing took out a cold-repelling flower, wrapped the Snowfield Wolf King's inner core in it, and shoved it into the Ice Kirin's mouth. Even though the Ice Kirin was ice-based and somewhat resistant to the cold, swallowing a frost-elemental evil spirit's inner core raw could freeze him to death. The cold-repelling flower would filter out the deadly cold, leaving only pure energy. After swallowing, a blast of cold air erupted from the Ice Kirin. Luckily, Ye Qianxing had thought ahead and given Xiaoyu and Su Tira each a cold-repelling flower, so they were protected. It would take Dubai a while to digest the core's energy. But just then, Ye Qianxing felt a sudden sense of danger. It was a weird feeling, but it was there. Since getting Su Kun's power, Ye Qianxing's danger sense had gotten a major upgrade, so the instant he felt it, he moved. At almost the same moment he dodged, something whizzed past his ear, and Ye Qianxing saw a deep gash where he'd been standing. Heads up! Enemies! Ye Qianxing shouted, and the idiot, locked in sync with him, instantly tensed up, glaring around. the idiot was furious. Someone dared to sneak attack his master, and he didn't catch it right away. If his master hadn't dodged, he'd never forgive himself. Huohuo was also on high alert, guarding Xia Xiaoyu. Idiot, forget me. Protect Tira. I'm good, Ye Qianxing said. Dabai was in the middle of leveling up and couldn't protect Su Tira, but Ye Qianxing could handle himself. Su Tira needed the backup more. The idiot hesitated, then moved to Su Tira's side, but his eyes never left Ye Qianxing. He wouldn't let his master get hurt. Come on out already. This hide-and-seek thing is getting old, Ye Qianxing called out. A few figures materialized from the trees, two of whom he recognized. Kuewu. Zhou Wei. Ye Qianxing was confused. How were these two working together? Ha! Ye Qianxing, I was wondering how to get to you through the Iron Blood mercenary group, but guess what? You already ticked them off. Talk about luck, Zhou Wei guffawed, clearing up Ye Qianxing's confusion. Kid, I thought you were hot stuff, but you're just some orphan with no backing. In that case, I won't lose sleep over killing you, Kuewu said coldly. Kuewu, you lay a finger on us, and you'll regret it, Sutala said, glaring at Kuewu. Ha! Little city lord, of course I wouldn't touch you. But what if he dies? Do you think your dad would risk angering the Iron Blood mercenary group for some nobody? Kuewu laughed. Sutala was speechless. Kuewu was right. The Iron Blood mercenary group was the biggest merc outfit in Jiangnan City. Even her dad, the city lord, wouldn't want to cross them, especially not for Ye Qianxing. It's cool, Ye Qianxing said, patting Sutala's shoulder, then turned to Kuewu and Zhou Wei, a casual smile on his face. You guys really think you can take me? Seriously, Ye Qianxing, where's this confidence coming from? Zhou Wei sneered. We've got 5 guys and 5 E-level pets. You've got 2 fighters at best. What are you gonna do? Ye Qianxing had made it clear that Su Kuan was useless in a fight while Dabai leveled up. They had Huohua and Air Bai Wu and that was it. It looked like Ye Qianxing was at a serious disadvantage, but like he said, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Sometimes, what you see just isn't the whole picture. Chapter 33 Death of Zhou Wei. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, cut the crap and get it done, before things go south. One of the Iron Blood mercenary group members said with an edge in his voice. He'd been tailing Ye Qianxing and his crew, so he knew what they were capable of, and he was wary of Ye Qianxing. At his command, the 5 spirit pets bared their teeth. There was Zhou Wei's double-blade mantis, Kuewu's violent hunting bear, and a trio of E-level pets, a tusk wild boar, a fighting kangaroo, and a red flame ape. They were a force to be reckoned with. The 5 spirit pets charged Ye Qianxing on their master's orders. Huohua, you take the red flame ape and the tusk wild boar. Just keep them busy. Air Bai Wu, you do the same with the furious hunting bear and the fighting kangaroo. We don't need to win, just stall them until Dabai finishes leveling up, then we've got this in the bag. Zhou Wei and his double-blade mantis are mine. Since they're all here, we can take care of business. Ye Qianxing laid out the plan. Huohua and Air Bai Wu were tough fighters for their level, but their odds weren't great facing 2 E-level pets at once. Luckily, one of them was a red flame ape. Since it was fire-based and Huohua wasn't afraid of flames, the red flame ape wasn't a huge threat. The tusk wild boar was earth-based and couldn't attack from a distance, so Huohua would be safe in the air. All she had to do was spit fire to keep them off balance. Her divine fire was intense, and the red flame ape and tusk wild boar would feel the heat. Erbeiwu had a tough job with the fighting kangaroo and the violent hunting bear. They were both built for combat and packed a punch, but Ye Qianxing only needed him to stall, not defeat them, which he could manage. After the orders were given, Erbeiwu and Huohua charged into action and quickly engaged the 4 pets. Double-blade mantis, take him out. Zhou Wei bellowed. Now that Ye Qianxing and the others were unprotected, Zhou Wei could practically see his double-blade mantis slicing Ye Qianxing in half. A cruel smile spread across his face. The double-blade mantis couldn't refuse its master. Even though it looked down on attacking humans, it advanced toward Ye Qianxing. The double-blade mantis lived up to its name. Its two front claws were as sharp as knives, and Ye Qianxing had no doubt they could slice through solid iron. You want to kill me? You're out of your league. Ye Qianxing sneered and, instead of backing down, charged toward the double-blade mantis. Ha ha ha, Ye Qianxing, you got a death wish? You're practically begging for it. In that case, double-blade mantis, help him out, Zhou cackled. The double-blade mantis swung its blades, slashing at Ye Qianxing. Whiz, the blades sliced through the air and cut through Ye Qianxing's body in an X. Zhou smirked, but his expression froze when there was no blood. Ye Qianxing's figure slowly faded. That's an afterimage. No way, one of the Iron Blood mercenary group members gasped. Afterimages only appeared when someone reached maximum speed. He refused to believe a human could do that. Of course, Ye Qianxing wasn't relying on speed, he was teleporting, using spatial power to move instantly. Because it happened so fast, his afterimage lingered. Ah! The double-blade mantis looked confused, but then a scream pierced the air from behind it. Everyone turned to see Ye Qianxing behind Zhou, grabbing his neck and lifting him off the ground. Zhou's face turned red, then purple, gasping for air. Roar! Seeing its master in danger, the double-bladed mantis roared and charged toward Ye Qianxing. One more step, and your master is dead, Ye Qianxing said coldly. The double-bladed mantis froze. Then, Ye Qianxing turned to Kuei-Wu. Call off your pets, or he's a goner. You've got the wrong idea. He's got nothing to do with our Iron Blood mercenary group. Let him die. Kuei-Wu said without emotion. Wow, Zhou, did you hear that? Look who you're in bed with. Ye Qianxing's face showed how much he enjoyed the situation. Let me go. Our previous conflict is water under the bridge. Zhou croaked. Not only that, I can also help you deal with them. I don't need your help. And as for water under the bridge, you're dreaming, Zhou. You bullied me, humiliated me, almost killed me. There's no way that's being written off so easily. A cruel glint shone in Ye Qianxing's eyes. Then, what do you want? I only wanted to teach you a lesson, but since you brought people to kill me today, I'm sorry, you're going down. Ye Qianxing squeezed his hand, and Zhou's neck cracked. Disbelief flooded Zhou's face. He couldn't believe that Ye Qianxing dared to kill him. He was the young master of the Zhou family. Wasn't Ye Qianxing afraid of the Zhou family coming after him? But Zhou couldn't think anymore. His pupils shrank, and his life faded away. He was gone. Kuei-Wu and the other members of the Iron Blood mercenary group's eyes narrowed at Ye Qianxing. They hadn't expected the young man to be so ruthless, killing without a second thought. Double-blade mantis, he killed your master. Why are you just standing there? Avenge him, Kuei-Wu shouted at the double-blade mantis, and it roared in response. It had sensed that its connection to its master's soul had been severed, meaning its master was truly dead. As a spirit pet, it had failed to protect its master. Ashamed and enraged, the double-blade mantis went berserk. Its speed soared, reaching Ye Qianxing in the blink of an eye and slashing with both blades. Fast! Ye Qianxing exclaimed. There wasn't time to teleport, so he quickly used shock. The double-blade mantis faltered but recovered a second later and resumed its attack. However, Ye Qianxing had used that opening to teleport away. E-level pets are tough. At my current level, I can barely survive even if I use everything I've got, but I can't beat them. Ye Qianxing thought. The double-blade mantis charged him again, but Ye Qianxing was already prepared, teleporting away the instant it got close. Chapter 34, Change of Situation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gotta say, teleportation is a real lifesaver. Every time that double-bladed mantis came at him, Ye Qianxing just teleported out of the way, driving the thing nuts, but it couldn't do a thing about it. Is he even human? Not only is he crazy strong, but he can teleport too. That the Iron Blood mercenary group guys were floored, jaws practically on the ground. They couldn't believe a human could do that. Was this dude some kind of Superman? He's hiding something, for sure. We gotta grab him, grill him. Maybe we can get that power for ourselves, Kuei-Wu sneered. Makes sense, but that mantis can't even touch him, and those two spirit pets are a real handful. Once that Qilin levels up, we're toast, one of the mercs said, sounding worried. Kuei-Wu frowned, then a cold look flashed in his eyes. Double Blade Mantis, if you can't get him, go grab his buddies, Kuei-Wu yelled at the mantis. A flicker of understanding seemed to cross its insect eyes, and it stopped chasing Ye Qianxing, turning its attention to Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala. Damn it, that's low, Ye Qianxing swore. Kuei-Wu was really playing dirty, planning to use Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala as hostages. The mantis was already charging at Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala. Without the spirit pet's protection, they were sitting ducks. Good thing Ye Qianxing had a plan. Su Kuan, get them out of here, into the other dimension. Ye Qianxing yelled. Suddenly, a blue fish appeared next to Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala, floating in the air. It was Su Kuan. When things got hairy, Ye Qianxing had told Su Kuan to hide in the other dimension, just to keep Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala safe. Looks like that was the right call. With a ripple in the air, Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala were still standing there, but they'd actually been moved to another dimension. The mantis slashed at them, but its blades just went right through, like they were ghosts. The mantis looked totally confused. They were right there, so how couldn't it hit them? That's the power of space. That fish is a space type. What kinda luck did this guy have, contracting a space type spirit pet? That the Iron Blood mercenary group guys were in shock. Space-type spirit pets or evil spirits were super rare, practically non-existent in the entire city. Scarcity means big bucks, not to mention how powerful space types were. If word got out, people would be fighting tooth and nail to steal or buy it. That kid's gotta die, and we're taking his spirit pet. Kuei-Wu's eyes went wide, greed written all over his face. Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala were safe for now, but Ye Qianxing wasn't relaxing. People can't stay in that dimension for long. Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala only had about 30 seconds in there, so, almost as soon as they were inside, Ye Qianxing made his move. He teleported behind the mantis and punched it in the head with a fist covered in black flames, the flame of the underworld. Bang! The mantis clearly wasn't expecting Ye Qianxing to come at it, so it wasn't ready and took the punch right on the head. Ye Qianxing was as strong as a decent F-level spirit pet, and the mantis wasn't exactly built for defense. Taking that punch off guard was bad news. Even worse, that punch was laced with Underworld Fire, which could hurt its body and burn its soul. The soul was the real problem. Unless you were a ghost-type evil spirit or spirit pet, your soul wasn't that strong. Ye Qianxing's nether flame wasn't all that powerful yet, but it was enough to mess with it. Roar! The mantis screamed, then went even crazier. It forgot about Sutala and Xia Xiaoyu and started chasing Ye Qianxing, which was exactly what he wanted. The chase was on again, but Ye Qianxing couldn't just teleport all day. Every jump took a chunk out of his stamina. He'd run out of gas eventually. Just then, a burst of icy energy exploded from nowhere, followed by a furious roar. Ye Qianxing grinned. It was Dabai. He'd leveled up. Dabai, get M. Sutala and Dabai were on the same wavelength, reacting instantly. Stoked. Before, Sutala had been feeling useless, like he was just holding them back. Now that Dabai had leveled up, he turned his frustration into anger. Dabai knew his master had been in danger a few times. But he couldn't stop the upgrade, so all he could do was worry. Now that the upgrade was done, Dabai unleashed all that pent-up rage. Ice Frost Mysterious Land. Dabai stomped his hooves, and a wave of cold air burst out, freezing all 5 pets solid. In the snow, Dabai was a lot stronger than usual. Dabai, Ice Pillar. The horn on Dabai's head glowed blue, and a huge ice cone formed in the air, quickly turning into a 2-foot-long, 1-foot-wide spear, aimed right at the 5 pets on the ground. Puff! The ice spear went right through the fighting kangaroo. No! The kangaroo's owner screamed. He could feel the connection between his pet and his soul snapping. His kangaroo was dead. Boom! A massive flame erupted from the red flame ape, melting all the ice and snow nearby and freeing the other 3 pets. Pull back. Retreat, one of the Iron Blood mercenary group guys shouted. Dabai had just leveled up, and they'd already lost a pet. The writing was on the wall, but they weren't in charge anymore. Trying to run. Too late for that. Ye Qianxing's voice cut through the air. Wu, Huahua, and Dabai had already formed a triangle around them. You wanted to kill me, so you better be ready to die. Hey, we're with the Iron Blood mercenary group. If you kill us, they'll come after you. One of the mercs tried to threaten Ye Qianxing. Don't worry, Ye Qianxing said. If your Iron Blood mercenary group wants revenge, I'll send them down to join you. Chapter 35 The Injured Ye Qinghan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Dabai leveled up. Now Ye Qianxing and his team had 3 top-tier E-level spirit pets, and combined with Ye Qianxing's own fighting skills, the Iron Blood mercenary group stood no chance. By this point, Ye Qianxing was ready to eliminate any witnesses. After a little over 10 minutes, every spirit master and spirit pet in the Iron Blood mercenary group was wiped out. That's the first time I've ever killed someone, Sudra said, swallowing hard. He didn't feel a thing when he took down evil spirits, but killing people felt different. He felt both disgusted and, surprisingly, a strange thrill. It had to be some deep-seated, primal instinct. Qianxing, how can you be so calm? In this day and age, evil spirits are our enemies, but people aren't necessarily friends. When money's on the line, even brothers will turn on each other. Ye Qianxing sighed, harsh, but true. If you wanted to make it, you couldn't afford to be soft. You had to protect those you cared about with everything you had, and show zero mercy to anyone who tried to hurt you. Ye Qianxing had learned that the hard way over the past decade. Let's get moving. Dabai's leveled up, and we've got the evil spirit cores we need for the test. We still have a day and a half before the deadline. We can spend that time exploring the demon forest. Ye Qianxing spoke, as if he'd caught a whiff of something strange in the air. They left Xifeng Mountain, and since it was almost dark, they just found a clearing to camp out for the night. They built a fire and started roasting some wild boar meat. The aroma filled the air, and Sooty's stomach, empty for too long, started rumbling like thunder. The wild boar had been one of the Iron Blood mercenary group's spirit pets. It tasted way better than regular pork, maybe because of that. If anyone saw them chowing down on spirit pet meat, they'd be green with envy. Tons of people couldn't even get their hands on a spirit pet, and these guys were eating them. It was enough to make anyone jealous. They were all digging in when Sooty glanced up and spotted a figure in the distance, slowly shambling towards them. It was moving all jerky and unsteady, like a zombie from a movie. It's a ghost. Sudala stammered, terrified. Xia Xiaoyu and Ye Qianxing turned to look, and sure enough, there was the figure. Ah! Xia Xiaoyu screamed, instinctively grabbing onto Ye Qianxing, which stopped him in his tracks, but Ye Qianxing's eyesight was better than theirs. After squinting for a minute, he figured out that it was a person. Looked like a woman, but it was too dark to see her face. Relax, it's just a person. Looks like she's hurt. Probably a classmate, Ye Qianxing said. That seemed to bring Xia Xiaoyu and Sudala back to earth, and Xia Xiaoyu's face went red as she realized what she'd done. Then she glared at Sudala. Some man you are, scared of your own shadow. I. Sudala just stared. How was this his fault? Anyone would be spooked by a figure like that, out in the middle of nowhere. Plus, there wasn't solid proof that ghosts existed, but people were always going to be scared of them. It was a primal fear, passed down through generations. Ye Qianxing ignored their bickering and kept his eyes glued to the figure. For some reason, she looked familiar. The figure got closer, and as the firelight flickered across her face, Ye Qianxing finally got a clear look at her. It was definitely a woman. Her clothes were torn, showing a bit of pale skin, her hair was a mess, so you couldn't see her face, but based on her clothes and figure, Ye Qianxing had a feeling. Ye Qinghan. Ye Qianxing ran towards her, and the woman looked up before collapsing. Ye Qianxing rushed forward, catching her as she fell and pushing her hair out of her face. It was Ye Qinghan. How had she ended up in the demon forest? And what had happened to her? No time to think about that now. He helped her over to the fire, where they could see that she was pale and clearly hurt. Qianxing, do you know her? Sutala asked. Yeah, she's my roommate, Ye Qianxing nodded. Dude, that's crazy. You live with a total knockout like that? Sutala said, and Ye Qianxing facepalmed. So what if we live together? We're just renting the same place. What's wrong with you? Ye Qianxing rolled his eyes, then poured a bowl of water and tried to give it to Ye Qinghan, but she was out cold, and wouldn't drink. Looks like I'll have to do this myself. Ye Qianxing muttered, drinking a mouthful of water. Bro Qianxing, what are you doing? Xiaoyu blurted out. Saving her, obviously. She can't drink it on her own, so I'm helping her out, Ye Qianxing replied. I can do that. Let me, Xiaoyu said quickly. When Xiaoyu heard that this woman was Ye Qianxing's roommate, she'd immediately felt a twinge. Now that he was about to feed her water mouth to mouth, there was no way she'd stand for it. She could see that this woman was just as pretty as her, and she felt a wave of panic. Okay, you got it, Ye Qianxing shrugged. Xiaoyu took a sip of water and put it to Ye Qinghan's lips. Ye Qianxing couldn't help but think this scene was a bit too wild. Soon, the bowl was empty, but Ye Qinghan still hadn't come to. Looks like we'll have to go to Plan B. CPR, Ye Qianxing said. Xiaoyu, do you know CPR? Nope, Xiaoyu shook her head. Then I guess I'm the only one who can do it. Ye Qianxing smirked and stepped in front of Ye Qinghan. Xiaoyu pouted, but couldn't argue because she really didn't know how. Actually, Ye Qianxing didn't know how either, but he had seen it in movies and TV shows, so it couldn't be that hard, right? With that in mind, Ye Qianxing put his hands on Ye Qinghan's chest, and the second he touched her, he realized how soft they were. Chapter 36 Tiancang Ancient Tree. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ye Qianxing shook his head, trying to clear his thoughts. Snap out of it, Ye Qianxing. Time to focus. Gotta save her. Pushing aside the impure thoughts, Ye Qianxing geared up to use his strength, but just then, Ye Qinghan's eyes snapped open. Ye Qianxing froze, instantly terrified. Why now? He was sunk. There was no way he could explain this away. Before, she might have just wanted to kill him for seeing her, but now he'd actually touched her. He was as good as dead. Actually, Ye Qianxing started, trying to explain, but Ye Qinghan cut him off. Is it big? Big. Ye Qianxing blurted out before he could think, then realized what he'd said. That's not what I meant. Ye Qinghan interrupted again, if you're gonna cop a feel, you gotta let me up first, right? Ye Qianxing swallowed hard, quickly releasing her and standing up. He was completely baffled. Why was Ye Qinghan acting so strange? Shouldn't she be freaking out and demanding his head right now? Instead. I remember, your name's Ye Qianxing, right? Ye Qinghan brushed off the ash, glancing at him. Ye Qianxing was increasingly confused. Had she hit her head? Ye Qinghan, what are you doing here? Ye Qianxing asked. He'd been wondering about that all along. Call me, big sister, she replied, dodging the question. Sister? Ye Qinghan, are you nuts? A glint flashed in her eyes. She lifted a leg and planted it on Ye Qianxing's shoulder, forcing him to bend over into a squat. Damn, that's strong. Ye Qianxing was surprised. He was as strong as a regular F-rank spirit pet, but Ye Qinghan was way stronger, pinning him down, but he was sure she hadn't been this strong before. Let go of brother Qianxing. Xiaoyu shouted, seeing Ye Qianxing brought to his knees. Huohua glared at Ye Qinghan. Ye Qinghan glanced at Xia Xiaoyu, then pulled back her leg. She strolled up to Xia Xiaoyu and hooked a finger under her chin. Did you kiss me just now? If you kissed me, you're mine. Huh, that Xia Xiaoyu was completely lost. Being teased by a guy was one thing, but a girl? What was going on? Ye Qianxing was now certain something was seriously wrong with Ye Qinghan. She'd been an ice queen before, but now she was acting like a total badass, yet it was clearly the same person. Maybe she had split personalities. The thought flashed through his mind. It seemed the only explanation. Are you Ye Qinghan? Ye Qianxing asked. Yes and no. Either way, call me Ye Qinghan, or don't. Ye Qinghan gave a noncommittal answer, confirming his suspicions. Same question as before, why were you in the forest of demon spirits, and how did you get hurt? Ye Qianxing pressed. Well, it was a mission. The target was an E-rank plant-type evil spirit. But even though it's E-rank, it's probably as strong as a D-rank. It's a real pain. I barely killed it. I got hurt pretty bad, almost died. That evil spirit almost killed me. I'm so pissed. I can't let this go. Ye Qinghan suddenly exploded, pretending to charge back for revenge. Hey, wait. Did the team assign that mission, or did you take it on your own? Ye Qianxing quickly stopped her and asked. I picked it myself. Why? Good. Then I'm going with you. We'll split the reward. If that old fox Ye Xiaoyao hadn't used his help to take on the mission, he wouldn't get swindled out of his cut of the reward. You. Ye Qinghan looked at Ye Qianxing with utter disdain. No offense, but you'd probably just end up as fertilizer for that plant-based evil spirit. Alright, even with a split personality, she still looked down on him. But Ye Qianxing was used to it. Don't worry about me. Just say yes. If you want to die, be my guest. Suit yourself. Ye Qinghan shrugged. You guys wanna come? Ye Qianxing asked Xia Xiaoyu and Sutala. Yes, Xia Xiaoyu replied instantly. She wouldn't let Ye Qianxing be alone with this woman. We're a team. Of course we're going, Sutala agreed, nodding. The night passed. As the sun rose, casting a dim light through the forest, Ye Qianxing and the others ventured deeper into the forest of demon spirits, following Ye Qinghan. The depths of the forest of demon spirits were far more dangerous than the outer edges. It was rare to encounter a demon spirit on the periphery, but as they moved deeper, they ran into them every few minutes. They encountered 5 or 6 evil spirits along the way, mostly E-rank, but their spirit pets were all top-tier E-rank, so they were more than a match for these regular E-rank evil spirits. In the end, Ye Qianxing only got a few more E-rank inner elixirs out of it. Half an hour later, they arrived at their destination. See that tree? That's the plant-based evil spirit I was talking about. Ye Qinghan pointed to an old-looking tree. But to the naked eye, it looked like nothing more than an old tree. Of course, that was just the surface. Ye Qianxing analyzed the tree's attributes: evil spirit, Tiancang ancient tree, attribute, plant-based, rating, 4-star, level, E8. Abilities, vine entanglement, can control vines to ensnare the target, life absorption, vines have barbs that can drain the life force of those they ensnare, regeneration, exceptional vitality, can quickly regenerate after vines are broken, weakness, fire/demon. The source of life is located in the heart of the tree, the Tiancang ancient tree, with its formidable vitality, was certainly a tough opponent. Even though it was only E-rank, it was as troublesome as a D-rank because it was nearly impossible to kill. It could always regenerate. Earth Rock Bear, come on out. Ye Qianxing was covertly calculating the ancient Tiancang tree's combat power. Ye Qinghan yelled, and a contract space appeared next to her. The next moment, a brown bear emerged from the contract space. Chapter 37: The Origin of Life. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Spirit Pet, Earth Rock Bear, Type, Rock/Fighting, Rating, 3 stars, Growth Potential, Level, D1. Skills, Sandstorm, Power Fist, Stone Soul Blast, Weaknesses, Water/Ghost, Evolution Requirements. Ye Qianxing raised an eyebrow at Ye Qinghan's spirit pet. He was pretty sure she originally had a thunder leopard. Maybe she has a second pet? This Earth Rock Bear is a D-level pet, making Ye Qinghan a D-level spirit master. That's a big deal, she's top tier in Jiangnan City, no doubt. Big Bear, rip that tree out of the ground, Ye Qinghan commanded. Roar. The Earth Rock Bear beat its chest and let out a deafening roar. Stones flew up from the ground, blasting towards the Tiancang ancient tree. Thwack, thwack, thwack. The Tiancang ancient tree, which hadn't moved a muscle before, finally reacted. Several vines lashed out like whips, swatting away the stones and then snaking towards the Earth Rock Bear. 5 vines wrapped tightly around the Earth Rock Bear's limbs and neck, as if trying to tear it apart, but the Earth Rock Bear was a D-level spirit pet with serious defenses. The Tiancang ancient tree wasn't going to take it down that easily. Owho! The Earth Rock Bear roared, its muscles bulging. With a series of loud snaps, the vines binding its limbs and neck broke. Now the Earth Rock Bear was ticked off. It charged toward the Tiancang ancient tree, ready to uproot it. Before it could get close, a giant net woven from over a dozen vines dropped onto the Earth Rock Bear. It struggled fiercely, but couldn't break free. Damn it, this evil spirit isn't that strong, but it's a pain to deal with, Ye Qinghan grumbled. Ah! Suddenly, Su Tira screamed. A vine had silently wrapped around her waist and was yanking her away. Tira! Ye Qianxing yelled, snapping into action. He grabbed Su Tira's hand. Xiao Yu, tell Huohua to attack. Ye Qianxing shouted, Xiao Yu, stunned by the sudden attack, remembered that plant-based evil spirits were weak against fire. Huohua, help them out. Huohua spat out a stream of flames, burning the vine instantly, and stopping Su Tira's progress. Everybody watch out, this thing's coming after us. Right after Ye Qianxing spoke, the vine that Huohua had burned began to twitch. A new vine shot out from the gap, aiming straight for Ye Qianxing. What? Ye Qianxing was caught off guard. He hadn't expected the ancient Tiancang tree to have so much vitality. The vine snared him before he could react. Ye Qianxing tried to break the vine, but it was no use. It was too tough. Huohua. Xiao Yu started to call Huohua to help Ye Qianxing, but at that moment, vines sprouted from the ground and attacked Su Tira, Xiao Yu, and Ye Qinghan. With its master in danger, Huohua chose to protect her first. Meanwhile, Ye Qianxing was being dragged away by the vines. Baiwu raced over and started biting at the vines, but couldn't chew through them. Crap, this thing is sucking my life force, Ye Qianxing realized. The ancient Tiancang tree had the ability to drain life energy. If he didn't get free, he could die. Wait, the Nether Fire. The Nether Fire was mostly used against souls, but it did have some physical effects. Maybe it could burn the vines. Thinking fast, he summoned a ball of black flame. The moment the flame appeared, the vines recoiled as if they'd seen a monster. Even though they pulled back fast, the Nether Fire still burned them. It's afraid of the Nether Fire. Ye Qianxing's eyes lit up. Huohua's fire had burned the vines earlier, but they had quickly grown back. But the Tiancang ancient tree was clearly terrified of the Nether Fire. Is it because the Nether Fire comes from the underworld and carries the power of death, which suppresses its life force? Suddenly feeling optimistic, Ye Qianxing knew this would be easier than expected. Dummy, it's scared of the Nether Fire. Ye Qianxing yelled to Baiwu, who understood him right away. Working together, the boy and his dog forced the vines back. Baiwu, finish it off. Baiwu charged at the Tiancang ancient tree. It tried to defend itself with vines, but the Nether Fire kept pushing it back. Soon, Baiwu reached the Tiancang ancient tree and unleashed the Nether Fire, engulfing the entire tree. The Tiancang ancient tree, rooted to the spot, could only let the Nether Fire burn it. After 10 minutes, the giant tree was reduced to ashes, leaving behind a ball of pure white energy, source of life. Crystallized vitality of a plant-based evil spirit. containing immense life force, 3-star material, Ye Qianxing pocketed it. A 3-star material was a nice bonus. More importantly, its life force could save him at a crucial moment. Qianxing, that was amazing. You can take down D-level evil spirits now. You're one of the best in Jiangnan City, Su Tira exclaimed. Even in Jiangnan City, there weren't many D-level spirit masters. Just luck, Ye Qianxing said casually, he wasn't just being humble. Luck had definitely played a part. If the Nether Fire hadn't suppressed the Tiancang ancient tree's vitality, things could have turned out badly. Luck is a part of strength, kid. Guess I underestimated you. Ye Qinghan stepped forward and clapped Ye Qianxing on the shoulder. To be honest, Ye Qianxing wasn't used to this side of her. His first impression was that she was impossibly cold. Well, the evil spirit's gone, so I should get going. See you guys later. With that, Ye Qinghan hopped onto the Earth Rock Bear and rode off. Hey, don't forget my cut of the reward. Ye Qianxing shouted after her, but she didn't answer. He wasn't sure if she'd even heard him. After a quick rest, they realized it was getting late. Today was the last day of the assessment, and they couldn't be late, or they'd fail. An hour later, the trio returned to the meeting point. A few students were already there, but far fewer than when they'd arrived. They must have run into trouble during the assessment and had to call for help, forfeiting their chance to pass. Chapter 38 Special Class. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Following the crowd, they headed to the inspection area to hand in their evil spirit inner cores. Once the inspector gave the thumbs up, they were done. Ye Qianxing and his crew only pulled out the F-level Snow Wolf cores. Even though they had E-level cores too, they figured it was better to keep things low-key. While they were waiting in line, Ye Qianxing felt eyes on him. He scanned the area and spotted the dean, who was giving him a less-than-friendly stare. Hey, Qianxing, that dean's related to the Zhou family. He's like Zhou Wei's cousin, Xia Xiaoyu whispered in his ear, noticing the tension. Zhou family, huh? Ye Qianxing's eyes narrowed. No wonder he was getting the stink eye. If the dean knew he'd offed Zhou Wei, all bets were off, but Ye Qianxing wasn't sweating it. Whether Zhou Wei and his buddies were Monster Chow or not, anyone who knew the truth was history. No witnesses met even if they suspected him. They were out of luck. The dean took one last look around, probably finding Zhou Wei's absence a little sus, then stomped off into the forest of demonic spirits. The test wrapped up fast, and in just over half an hour, everyone who passed gathered. This second round thinned the herd way more than the first. They started with over 300, and now they were down to just over 100. Turns out, a lot of people can become spirit masters, but not as many can become rockstar spirit masters. The school wasn't about to waste resources training masters with zero potential. Alright everyone, congrats on making it through the assessment and officially kicking off your spirit control journey here. That with the teaching dean MIA, some grade director filled in. Now, let's get down to class assignments. Zhang San, regular class. Li Si, regular class. Li Ning, second-tier elite class. They got preliminary class assignments after the first round, but those weren't set in stone. The results of the second round could shake things up. Take Li Ning, for example. His spirit pet's talent was just okay in the first round, so he was pegged for the regular class. But this time in the forest of demonic spirits, he iced an F-level evil spirit that was top of the line, so he got bonus points and bumped up to the second-tier elite class. Lin Yi, first-tier elite class. The grade head stopped there, and Ye Qianxing and the others exchanged glances, realizing their names hadn't been called. Just as Ye Qianxing was about to speak up, the grade head jumped back in. Due to unforeseen circumstances in this assessment, the college has decided to create a special class above the first-tier elite class to teach students with exceptional skills. Teacher Jiang Lin will announce who made the cut. The grade head stepped aside, and Jiang Lin took the stage. Whoa, a special class. I wonder who got lucky enough to make it in. No way I'm getting in. I'm stuck in the regular class for sure. Students started buzzing, some green with envy, but most just wanted to know what was so special that the college felt the need to add a special class. "We're only taking 5 students this time," Jiang Lin announced, silencing the crowd. Everyone hung on his next words. "The first student entering the special class is Xia Xiaoyu." Suddenly, all eyes were on Xia Xiaoyu. Ironically, Xia Xiaoyu, Ye Qianxing, and Su Tila didn't seem all that stoked. When the grade head mentioned a special class, they pretty much figured they were in. Why else would they be left out? Su Tila. Jiang Lin called out next. Su Tila grinned, a little giddy under the spotlight. Zhou Lang. Teacher Jiang Lin read another name, and Ye Qianxing followed everyone's gaze to a kid, maybe 15 or 16, who seemed kinda shy and blushed under the attention. Zhou Yu. This time it was a girl. She wasn't drop-dead gorgeous, but easy on the eyes, plus, she looked a bit like Zhou Lang. Add in the shared last name, and they had to be siblings. "They're also Zhous, any relation to Zhou Wei?" Ye Qianxing asked. "Doesn't seem like it. Just a coincidence, I guess," Xia Xiaoyu replied after a moment. The Zhou family's ties to her foster dad meant Xia Xiaoyu knew their family tree pretty well. If she said it was a coincidence, it was a coincidence. And finally, Ye Qianxing. Whoa! Again, all eyes snapped to him. The students could swallow Xia Xiaoyu and Su Tira making the special class. They were pretty well known around campus, one the mayor of Mercenary City, the other the daughter of the Jiangnan City Spirit Control Association president. Both had mad skills, but Ye Qianxing was a new face, so they couldn't help but size him up. Maybe only a few students who were in the same class as Ye Qianxing could accept this, since they had witnessed his raw talent during the first round of testing. "The 5 students I called, follow me. The rest of you, head back with your homeroom teachers." Jiang Lin continued, and Ye Qianxing and the others started to follow him out when a shout rang out. Hold it, that the voice was so loud, it startled everyone. When they turned to see who was yelling, it was the teaching dean, lugging a mangled corpse over his shoulder. On closer inspection, it was Zhou Wei's corpse. Ye Qianxing's eyes narrowed. Did Zhou Wei get lucky? He didn't get eaten after all. The homeroom teacher stormed over to Ye Qianxing and his crew, glaring daggers at Ye Qianxing. "You murderer! I'm gonna kill you!" But before he finished, a double-blade mantis popped up beside him. Sure, it looked just like Zhou Wei's mantis, but its power was on another level. Spirit Pet, Double-Blade Mantis, Attribute, Fighting/Wind, Rating, 2.5 stars, Growth Type, Level, E8. Abilities, Double-Blade/Wind Blade, Weakness, Lightning, Bird Spirits. Evolution Route, this Double-Blade Mantis was a straight-up E-level Stage 8 pet. No wonder it was so strong. It was practically D-level. Chapter 39 Confrontation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As soon as the double-sword mantis showed up, it targeted Ye Qianxing. Ye Qianxing's eyes flashed, ready to summon 250. Even though the mantis was a D-level spirit pet, he wasn't scared. He'd taken down D-level evil spirits before, but then, someone stepped in front of him. It was Instructor Jiang Lin. "Director Zhou, what's going on here? What's going on? That little punk killed my nephew, and he's going to pay for it with his life." The dean was furious. His status in the Zhou family wasn't high, he was just a distant relative. Zhou Wei, on the other hand, was a direct descendant and the head of the Zhou family's son. Now that Zhou Wei had died on his watch, he was in trouble. If he could find and eliminate the killer, he might be able to lessen the blame. Jiang Lin frowned, looking troubled. If Ye Qianxing really had killed Zhou Wei, she wouldn't have a leg to stand on. "Do you have any proof that I killed Zhou Wei?" Ye Qianxing spoke up from behind Jiang Lin. Someone was willing to protect him, so he wasn't about to admit anything. "Proof? I don't need proof to kill you." The dean snarled. "Director, if you don't have any evidence that Zhou Wei was killed by Ye Qianxing, I can't let you touch him," Jiang Lin said, her tone hardening. The dean was being way too aggressive. What did he mean, kill without evidence? The world would be chaos if that were the standard. Jiang Lin thought Ye Qianxing had real potential. He'd shown a talent that promised great things, as long as he survived. Besides, Ye Qianxing was her student, so, unless the dean had hard evidence, she was going to protect him. Teacher Jiang Lin, are you really going to defend this little beast? Are you willing to go against the Zhou family for him? The dean's face darkened. He might outrank Jiang Lin at the school, but he was still wary of her power. He's my student, and I'm responsible for his safety. If you have proof he committed murder, you don't even need to tell me. I'll personally see that he faces justice. But if you don't have any proof, then back off. I don't care if the head of your Zhou family comes here in person, I'll say the same thing. Ye Qianxing looked at Jiang Lin, who was standing her ground. This was the first time he'd seen her be so assertive, and it was on his behalf. He was actually touched. The dean's expression grew even darker. Asking him to provide evidence was impossible because he didn't have any proof that Ye Qianxing killed Zhou Wei. The truth was, he wasn't sure whether Zhou Wei had died at Ye Qianxing's hands or been killed by an evil spirit. But he needed a scapegoat to reduce his own guilt. He knew about the conflict between Ye Qianxing and Zhou Wei, so Ye Qianxing seemed like the perfect candidate. He hadn't expected Jiang Lin to stand in his way. Director Zhou, if you don't have any solid evidence, we're leaving. Jiang Lin signaled for Ye Qianxing and the others to leave. The dean could only glare at them, unwilling to make another move. Teacher Jiang Lin, thanks, Ye Qianxing said. He wasn't afraid of the dean, but this saved him a lot of trouble. Of course, this meant Jiang Lin was making an enemy of the Zhou family. Don't mention it. You're my student, so I'm responsible for your safety. Besides, I've had it out for Director Zhou for a long time now, Jiang Lin said casually. Yeah, he acts like he's loaded, but I don't like him either, Ye Qianxing chimed in. Jiang Lin rolled her eyes. But let me tell you something, if I find out you really did kill Zhou Wei, I'll personally drag you to the disciplinary office and make you face the consequences. Ah. Teacher Jiang Lin, would you really turn in your own student to uphold justice? Ye Qianxing asked, looking dramatically shocked. Oh. So you did kill him? No, absolutely not. I'm a kind person, I wouldn't even kill a chicken, much less a person, Ye Qianxing said, shaking his head. Sutala and Xia Xiaoyu could barely contain themselves. He was so shameless, acting like he was so gentle. He hadn't even blinked when he killed Zhou Wei and the others. With instructor Jiang Lin leading the way, Ye Qianxing and the other 5 students from the special class boarded a bus back to the academy. The college had set up a special training room just for the special class. Teacher, why did the academy add a special class? Why are there only a few of us? Xia Xiaoyu asked. The Sutala brothers, Zhou Lang, and Zhou Yu also looked at Jiang Lin, clearly wondering the same thing. Your talents and the bloodline quality of your spirit pets are beyond the Academy's usual standards and are much better than those in the first-class class. It would be a waste to train you with them, Jiang Lin said. Besides personal talents, Sutala's spirit pet, the Ice Kirin, a Kirin subspecies, had Kirin blood. Although Xia Xiaoyu's fire spirit bird's bloodline wasn't identified, its quality was just as high, and Ye Qianxing's pet had even exceeded perfection during testing. The quality of these 3 pets was a cut above the students in the first-class elite class. If there were only 1 or 2, they'd train together, but with 5, the school decided to add a temporary special class. Alright, go back and get some rest. Official training starts tomorrow. Oh, and Ye Qianxing, stick around for a minute. Okay. Ye Qianxing was surprised that she asked him to stay behind. Is it because I'm too handsome and she wants to make a move? What should I do? Should I give in, or give in, or give in? Ye Qianxing thought, shamelessly. Hey, what are you daydreaming about? Jiang Lin suddenly slapped him on the shoulder. Huh? Oh, nothing. Why did you want me to stay, Teacher Jiang Lin? Ye Qianxing asked, wiping the corner of his mouth. Instead of answering, Jiang Lin stared at him, her eyes looking like she was trying to see right through him. Ye Qianxing gulped. Could it be that he had guessed right? Had teacher Jiang Lin fallen for him because of his charm? It wasn't his fault he was so handsome. Chapter 40 Awakening State. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Alright, Jiang Lin, as flattered as I am by your staring, it's making me blush a little. If you're trying to pick me up, maybe we could grab some coffee or something. Jiang Lin's unwavering gaze was finally starting to get to him. He was a little flustered being stared at by such a beautiful woman. Hearing that, Jiang Lin finally looked away. Don't flatter yourself. You think you're my type? Get real. She rolled her eyes. Ye Qianxing's face darkened. Hey, you can insult my character, but don't you dare insult my looks. Teacher, that's a personal attack. I demand a retraction. Okay, knock it off. Have you activated your awakening state? Jiang Lin cut him off, asking something he didn't understand. Awakening state? What's that? Jiang Lin explained. The awakening state is when a spirit master and their spirit pet reach 50% compatibility, allowing them to share some of the spirit pet's power. The higher the compatibility, the more power they can share. At 100%, they can even merge, giving the spirit master all the spirit pet's abilities. It's tough to reach even 50% compatibility. Most spirit masters never manage it in their lifetime. But when I saw you fight Zhou, you held your own against his iron-backed wolf, so I figured you must have entered the awakening state. She didn't mention that Ye Qianxing's spirit pet was only F level. Even with excellent quality, it shouldn't have been a match. Ye Qianxing going toe-to-toe with the iron-backed wolf suggested a compatibility well over 50%. Ye Qianxing was stunned. His power sharing was thanks to the system, but Jiang Lin made it sound like others could gain similar abilities too. These people used their compatibility with spirit pets to unlock the awakening state, gaining some of their abilities. So the system basically jump-started my awakening state, he realized. What's your compatibility level with your spirit pet? Jiang Lin asked. I have no idea. Ye Qianxing shrugged. Jiang Lin didn't push it, leaving him to wonder if she believed him or just thought he was being secretive. After a pause, she said, hit me. Huh? Ye Qianxing thought he misheard. You want me to hit you? Just do it, she said impatiently. Alright, but be careful. Ye Qianxing threw a punch, holding back to about 50% power, not wanting to hurt her, but before his fist even connected, Jiang Lin grabbed his hand. Even at 50%, his speed and strength were far beyond that of an average person. How could she catch him? He increased his strength, but still couldn't break free. What? Before he could finish the thought, Jiang Lin had flipped him over her shoulder. Teacher Jiang Lin, are you serious? He clutched his side. Lesson number 1, don't overthink a fight. Then, she kicked him. He barely managed to block with his arms before a massive force sent him flying backward. It didn't really hurt, but the power behind that kick was shocking. He'd only experienced that level of strength from one other person, Ye Qinghan. So Ye Qinghan must also be in the awakening state, getting that kind of power from the Earth Rock Bear. While he had gotten 10% of Wu and Su Kuan's power, their real strengths weren't brute force. Wu was strong in the soul, and Su Kuan in space. Go all out, Jiang Lin said. Let's see how far along you are. Ye Qianxing stood up, dusted himself off, and got serious. Now that he knew Jiang Lin could handle it, he didn't have to hold back. Besides, he wanted to test his own strength. Okay. He rushed at Jiang Lin, leaping into a kick as he closed and, this time, he put everything into the kick. Jiang Lin didn't dodge. Instead, she threw a flaming punch. His foot would be burnt if it hit. But he couldn't pull back mid-air, fist and foot collided. Ye Qianxing landed hard after somersaulting in the air, a big hole burned through his shoe. Jiang Lin also stumbled back a few steps. His kick had clearly left a mark. Not bad. Again, Jiang Lin grinned, charging at him with a flame-covered palm. As the palm approached, Ye Qianxing used his shock attack, momentarily freezing Jiang Lin. He grinned and aimed a punch at her gut. But at that moment, Jiang Lin's eyes cleared, and she leaned in closer, his attack shifted upwards.